Time. It's the only currency you can never earn back. You can lose money and make more. You can lose possessions and replace them. But once a day is gone, it's gone forever. And yet, what do most people do with their time? They treat it as if it were infinite. They waste it. They allow hours to slip away into endless scrolling, binge-watching shows, gossip, procrastination, and routines that add nothing to their future. According to a 2023 study by Rescue Time, the average adult spends more than 3 hours a day on their phone. That's over 1,000 hours a year. Imagine what you could build with 1,000 hours. A new career skill? A side business? Financial freedom? Here's the sobering truth: if you don't value your time, you'll spend your life building wealth for someone else while your own dreams stay on hold. This audiobook is about urgency. It's about learning how to stop wasting the only resource you can never replace, and turning those hours into wealth, freedom, and independence. By the end, you'll not only think differently about your time, you'll know exactly how to use it to create lasting wealth. So let's dive in. Chapter 1: Why Time Equals Wealth. Let's begin with the foundation. Time isn't just valuable. It is wealth. People often say, time is money. But that phrase undersells it. Time is more valuable than money. Because while you can lose money and get it back, once you waste time, it's gone forever. Think of the wealthiest people on earth. They don't have more hours in the day than you do. What they have is a different relationship with time. They protect it, they invest it, and they multiply it. Consider Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive. He often says the key to his wealth isn't genius, it's patience and compounding. And what fuels compounding? Time. He spends 80% of his day reading, thinking, and making decisions that will pay off decades later. Now contrast that with the average worker. According to Gallup, the average American adult watches nearly 18 hours of TV per week. That's more than 900 hours a year. Imagine if those hours were redirected into learning a profitable skill, building an online business, or mastering investments. Or think of it like this: 1 hour a day is 365 hours a year. That's the equivalent of 9 full work weeks. What could 9 weeks of focused work do for your life? Action step: for the next week, write down how you spend every hour of your day. Don't guess, track it honestly. At the end of 7 days, you'll see clearly where your wealth is leaking away. And here's the cliffhanger: once you know where your time is going, the real question becomes, what is it costing you? That's our next chapter. Chapter 2: The Hidden Cost of Wasted Time. Here's the problem with wasting time: it doesn't hurt in the moment. Watching another episode, scrolling for 20 minutes, putting off a project, it feels harmless. But time has a hidden cost, and that cost compounds. Microsoft's 2023 Work Trend Index revealed that office workers spend 57% of their time on communication apps, email, chat, meetings, instead of doing focused, productive work. That means more than half of the average workday is consumed by tasks that don't move the needle. Globally, Data Portal's 2024 report found that people spend 6 hours and 37 minutes online every single day. That's nearly half of waking hours. If even one of those hours a day were redirected toward building skills or creating assets, the difference over a decade would be life-changing. Let me share a story. Maria, a nurse in Sydney, dreamed of starting an online store. For years, she told herself she didn't have time. But when she finally tracked her evenings, she realized she was spending almost 14 hours a week on Netflix. That's more than 700 hours a year. She cut her screen time in half and dedicated those hours to her store. Within a year, it was live. Within 3, her side business was covering half her income. Another example, Raj in London loved football. He spent hours every week not just watching games, but highlights, commentary, and endless debates. He realized he was spending 12 to 15 hours weekly as a spectator. He cut that in half, used the extra time to learn coding, and within 2 years transitioned into a tech career that doubled his salary. The hidden cost of wasted time isn't just hours. It's lost opportunity. It's the wealth you could have built, the skills you could have mastered, the freedom you could already be living. Action step: take one recurring activity that consumes at least 5 to 10 hours a week but adds no value, and reduce it by half. Replace those hours with a wealth-building habit, learning, creating, or investing. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I know wasting time costs me. But what do successful people do differently? That's exactly what we'll uncover in the next chapter. Chapter 3: How Successful People Invest Their Time. The wealthy don't just manage time, they invest it. They see every hour as either a seed or a leak. A seed, if planted in the right soil, can grow into something powerful. A leak simply disappears, leaving nothing behind. Take Elon Musk. Love him or not, his discipline with time is undeniable. He breaks his days into 5-minute blocks. That's how he juggles multiple billion-dollar companies. Or Serena Williams. During her career, she didn't just practice tennis, she protected her time for recovery, sleep, and focus. Every hour was aligned with her long-term vision of excellence. But let's make this practical with everyday people. Claire, a single mother in Scotland, had a 40-minute commute each way. Instead of scrolling social media, she filled that time with business podcasts and audiobooks. Over 2 years, that turned into 500+ hours of education. With that knowledge, she launched a bookkeeping side hustle. Today, that side income covers her rent. Ravi in India worked long call center shifts. Exhausted, he still carved out one focused hour at night to learn digital marketing. Within 2 years, he was freelancing globally, earning triple his old salary. The difference isn't talent. It's time. They didn't let hours vanish. They redirected them into assets that built wealth. Action step: identify one block of dead time in your day, commuting, waiting, chores. Turn it into a learning zone. Podcasts, audiobooks, or lessons can transform wasted hours into building blocks for wealth. And this brings us to an exciting question: what happens when ordinary people stop wasting time and redirect it? The answer is transformation. And that's our next chapter. Chapter 4: Stories of Transformation. This isn't theory. Ordinary people around the world have transformed their lives by reclaiming wasted hours. Take David in Toronto. A college student, he spent 3 hours a night gaming. he decided to cut back by just 1 hour and dedicate it to learning graphic design. 6 months later, he was freelancing. 2 years later, his design income surpassed his part-time job. Or Sarah in New York. She worked long hours in finance and came home drained. But instead of zoning out, she committed to 1 hour a night studying investing. She started with index funds. 5 years later, her portfolio crossed 6 figures. Then there's Jacob in London. Obsessed with football, he spent 15 hours a week watching matches and commentary. He cut it to 5 and redirected 10 hours into building a YouTube channel. That channel now generates steady income and has grown into a business. And Emma in Melbourne, who dreamed of writing. She spent evenings scrolling Instagram. When she redirected 1 hour daily to writing, she finished her first book in a year. That book launched her speaking career and online courses. Notice the pattern. None of these people magically found extra time. They redirected what they already had. That's the secret. It's not about having more time, it's about using time differently. Action step: choose 1 wasted hour each day and replace it with a purposeful one. Write, learn, build, or invest. Do this consistently for 6 months, and you'll look back amazed at how much your life has shifted. Now, at this point you might be asking, okay, I'm inspired. But how do I build daily systems to make sure I stop wasting time for good? That's where we're heading next. Chapter 5: Daily Habits to Stop Wasting Time. If you want to change your future, you must change your habits. Because habits shape destiny. Here are 7 powerful daily systems that successful people use. 1. The time audit. For 1 week, log your day in 30-minute blocks. Awareness is everything. 2. The 80-20th rule. Focus on the 20% of actions that create 80% of results. Cut the rest. 3. Non-negotiables. Set 3 wealth-building tasks daily: learning, creating, investing. Finish them before distractions. 4. Time blocking. Dedicate 90-minute windows for deep work. Protect them. 5. Digital boundaries. Set screen time limits. Use apps like Freedom, Stay Focused, or Screen Time. 6. Morning Power Hour. Start your day by working on your biggest priority, not your inbox or social feeds. 7. Guard your energy. Sleep, exercise, and nutrition matter. A tired brain wastes hours. Tom in Vancouver used to watch TV 3 hours nightly. He cut it to 2 and used the extra hour for investment education. 10 years later, that decision added over $100,000 to his net worth. Action step: starting tomorrow, create a power hour, 1 hour daily where you focus entirely on a wealth-building task. No distractions. No excuses. Just consistent investment of time. And this brings us to the most exciting part. How do you directly turn those invested hours into real wealth? That's what Part 2 will reveal. Chapter 6: Turning Time into Wealth. Here's where the magic happens. You know time is wealth. You know wasted hours cost you more than money. You've seen how successful people treat time differently. Now the question becomes, How do you convert your reclaimed hours into actual financial results? There are three main levers you can pull: skills, assets, and habits. 1. Skills. Skills are the engines of income. High-value skills like coding, copywriting, design, sales, data analysis, or even public speaking can double or triple your earning potential. And the good news? You don't need a degree anymore to acquire them. Online platforms like Coursera, Udemy, or free YouTube channels provide access to world-class education. Take Michael in Chicago. He worked as a warehouse clerk. On weekends, instead of playing video games, he spent 6 to 8 hours learning web development online. Within 2 years, he transitioned into a junior developer role, doubling his salary. Or Grace in London. She committed 1 hour a night to learning copywriting. After 6 months, she began freelancing. Today, she earns more from writing than she did in her old office job. 2. Assets. An asset is something that pays you after the work is done. Real estate, a YouTube channel, a blog, a course, an online store. They take time to build, but once they exist, they create leverage. Anna in Melbourne dedicated evenings to studying real estate. Within 3 years, she bought her first rental property. Today, that property pays her every single month, regardless of how she spends her time. Then there's Omar in Toronto. He used his evenings to build an e-commerce store. It didn't make much in the first year, but by year 3 it was generating steady income that gave him the confidence to quit his job. 3. Habits. Never underestimate the wealth-building power of small financial habits. Tracking spending, automating savings, contributing consistently to retirement accounts. These take only minutes but compound into massive results over decades. Think of Marcus in Dallas. He automated $200 a month into an index fund. He never missed the money. 10 years later, his account had grown to over $40,000, and it all started with a 5-minute setup. Action step: choose one lever this week. Either commit to learning a skill for 1 hour a day, building an asset 1 hour a day, or establishing one powerful financial habit. Just one decision can set off a chain reaction. But here's the danger: even with all this knowledge, many people still delay. They tell themselves, "I'll start next month. I'll start when I'm less busy. I'll start when I feel ready." And that delay has a cost. Let's explore that next. Chapter 7: The Emotional Cost of Delay. We've talked about the financial cost of wasted time. But there's another cost that's even heavier: the emotional cost. Regret. Cornell University researchers studied people's biggest regrets at the end of their lives. What they found was striking: the majority of regrets weren't about mistakes people made. They were about the things they didn't do. The dreams they never pursued. The hours they wasted. The time they never got back. Picture yourself at 70 years old. Will you look back and say, "I'm proud of how I used my time," or will you whisper, "I wish I had done more"? Let me tell you about Daniel, a banker in Sydney. He dreamed of starting his own consultancy. For 15 years, he told himself he was too busy. By the time he finally tried, the industry had changed. Younger consultants with more modern skills dominated the space. He confessed, I didn't regret failing. I regretted waiting. Contrast that with Jessica in Texas. She wanted to start a YouTube channel sharing personal finance tips. She wasn't ready, she wasn't confident, but she started anyway, recording videos on her phone during weekends. 5 years later, her channel is thriving, reaching millions worldwide. She once said, "The biggest decision I made wasn't starting a YouTube channel. It was refusing to delay." The emotional cost of delay is waking up years later and realizing the window has closed. And the only way to avoid that pain is to act now. Action step: write down one thing you've been delaying for over 6 months. Then ask yourself, what's the cost if I keep delaying another year? Another 5 years? Then, commit to taking the very first step this week. But let's get practical again. How exactly do you move from delay to decisive action? That's what the next chapter is about. Chapter 8: Your Call to Action. Here's the truth: no one is coming to rescue your time. No one is going to force you to stop scrolling, binge-watching, or procrastinating. No one is going to build your wealth for you. It's on you. But here's the good news: you already have the hours you need. You just need to redirect them. Think about this: if you reclaim just one wasted hour a day, that's 365 hours a year. In 3 years, that's over 1,000 hours. That's like getting 6 months of full-time work for free. And imagine where 1,000 invested hours could take you. A new skill that doubles your income. A side hustle that grows into a business. A portfolio that secures your financial future. A healthier body, sharper mind, and stronger confidence. The future you want isn't waiting for luck. It's waiting for you to reclaim your time. Action step: right now, choose one action you'll take in the next 24 hours to reclaim an hour. Delete an app. Cancel a subscription. Block off your calendar. And then decide how you'll invest that hour instead. Because here's the reality: small daily changes compound. And your future self will thank you for every single one. But to truly leave you inspired, let's tie everything together with one final message, a closing motivation to fuel your next chapter in life. Closing motivation: the choice is yours. You've just invested around 25 minutes listening to this audiobook. That's not wasted time. That's time invested. But the real test begins the moment this ends. Every day, you stand at a crossroads. One path is familiar: hours lost to distractions, days that blend together, years that disappear without progress. That path leads to regret. The other path is harder at first. It requires discipline, focus, and courage. But it leads to growth, wealth, and freedom. It leads to waking up 5 years from now and saying, "I'm so glad I started then." Let's pause and imagine your future. 3 years from now, you've eliminated debt. You've built an emergency cushion. Your investments are growing steadily. Maybe you've built a side hustle that gives you choices. Most importantly, you feel in control of your time, not the other way around. Can you see it? Can you feel it? That future is not fantasy. It's the predictable result of consistent action. But it all comes down to what you do next. Will you let another hour slip away? Or will you reclaim it? Because here's the undeniable truth: financial freedom is built 1 hour at a time. Success isn't about luck. It's about taking ordinary hours and using them in extraordinary ways. So here's my challenge to you: don't wait for someday. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until life slows down. Start today. Reclaim one wasted hour. Redirect it toward your future. And do it again tomorrow. And the day after. The clock is ticking. Your life is waiting. Stop wasting time and start building wealth. Your future self is waiting, and they will thank you for every single hour you invest starting right now.